Let's learn about interest capitalization, and in this one we're going to be concentrating on specific interest method. And all this means is that when you're self-constructing a building and you have the materials, labor, and overhead involved in that construction, part of the interest must also be capitalized as it's seen as part of the cost of that building. And it's important to recognize that the interest capitalization does not have to be tied to a specific loan for construction. As long as you have other loans outstanding, it means that you had borrowed money, and part of their interest would also be capitalized if the need should arise. So you don't need a construction loan specifically for this project in order to meet the requirements of having to capitalize some of the interest. And in this example, we have Mills Conveying Equipment starting a building on January 1st, 2013, and then completing the building in June 30th, 2014. Now, if I was going to carry this forward into the second year, you'd have to pay close attention to make sure that you realize there was only 6 months of construction in 2014. But starting in January 2013, they had some expenditures, and these were not evenly throughout the period. They were specific on January, March, and September. If they were even, I would just take the beginning and ending balances, add them together, and divide by 2. But because these were not evenly, I'm going to have to go through, and I'm going to have to time weight these for how long they were outstanding. For instance, the January loan would be outstanding for 12 out of 12 months, but the March 31st would only be 9 out of 12 months, and the September 30 would only be for 4 out of the 12 months. And it's going through and showing you the accumulated expenditures at December 31st before the interest capitalization were $1.5 million. And then I have some additional 2014 expenditures that I am not going to worry about at this time because I'm only doing the first year. But that 1.5 million is important to remember because that's the cost of the building so far, and I'm going to add some more to it based on my interest capitalization. Going down, we're going to figure out that the company obtained a $1 million construction loan. Now this one is specific to that building, and it's an 8% rate. And if I take 8% times a million, that's $80,000 worth of interest a year, and as long as I don't have more than $80,000 of interest capitalization, I won't have to delve into the other loans that are outstanding. However, there are 2 other loans that are outstanding with 2 different interest rates, and when this is involved, what you're going to have to do is calculate the interest on each loan. For instance, the $2 million at 6% and the $4 million at 12%. Take the total interest and divide it by the total loans, which are $6 million, and that will give you the average loan rate for those 2 other loans. So let's go on and look at the calculations. As I said, you have to time weight the average accumulated expenditures, and we went through and time weighted them by 12/12, 9/12, and 3/12. And when you add up the sum, I have $950,000 of average accumulated expenditures for 2013. Now this is for the interest capitalization. I did spend $500,000, $400,000, and $600,000 on that building, which is a total of $1.5 million. But what I'm doing is the time waiting now for the interest part, which is going to be added to the $1.5 million. Step 2 is then to calculate the amount of interest to be capitalized, and since I have a $1 million, if you remember, loan, that $1 million loan is going to let me use the 8% because this $950,000, which is the average accumulated expenditures, are less than the $1 million, which is the amount of the loan. And so I'm going to use the full 8%. and 8% of 950,000 is $76,000. And then I can go through and compare this 76,000 with the actual interest that I paid. And the actual interest that I paid is based on the 3 loans that are outstanding. And you can see that this is way more than $76,000. So I'm going to use the lower of the two. I'm going to add that 76,000, and now the cost of my building is the original 1.5 million in expenditures plus $76,000 in interest capitalization. And so this is the way that you're going to go through and work it under specific interest method, and that's the one I'm going to concentrate on in this chapter. Any questions, please post to the help discussion in Blackboard.